Yeah.
You know.
Well, yeah, we're going to get this game started pretty quickly. Parting versus ELAZER. What are your guys' predictions going into this for these two?
Well, it's hard to not pick Parting as the clear favorite. Like you said, this is probably, we're looking at the best player in Stormgate so far. His build orders are so crisp. I played him a bunch in the last phase, and his build orders are really pristine. He gets so many units out, so I'm going to have to... Are we doing scores?
Sure, go ahead. Give me a score, man.
Okay, well, the obvious pick is Parting 3-0.
Whoa!
Okay.
Damn.
3-0.
3-0.
ELAZER.
ELAZER,
Yeah,
the
I'm sorry,
Zerg god.
I got Pines back on this one. I think he's going to go 3-0.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think ELAZER's still pretty good, though. I mean, he's definitely pretty decent at the game for sure. He knows what he's doing. I mean, again, it's very hard to go against Parting for sure. I mean, it is Celestial as well that he's going to be playing, so it's going to be kind of interesting to see exactly what he decides to bring out. Is he going to be super aggressive, as we know he does like to do? Is he going to play some, or attempt to play some longer macro games or whatever? So I would still say Parting would be winning here, but maybe not, maybe like a 3-1. Maybe 3-2 if we're lucky.
Oh, that would be special, and honestly, wouldn't even mind if ELAZER is able to take it down. Like, let's not forget, ELAZER is mechanically god tier. Like, he's super good mechanically. He's going to micro well. He's very, very smart, but he can get a little tunnel vision to the game.
Sure,
right?
yeah.
So that's where I feel like Parting is going to have a bit of an edge on him.
Another edge that Pine might have here is I don't think anyone's seen what he's doing in this build of the game.
Yeah.
Like last phase, we saw a lot of Parting, but this phase, I feel like he's been kind of keeping stuff not hidden, but you know, there hasn't been any other tournaments he's entered, and I don't think we've seen what he's prepared specifically for this build. So I think we might be in for something new. Maybe.
Yeah, and I mean, also when I was back doing the observing for the player area thing as well, they were actually both back there talking as well, preparing and just practicing and stuff, and they were like trying to find Parting's account, like in the leaderboard or whatever. Like ELAZER's like, come on, which one's you? Which one's you? And he's like, I told you that's me. And they don't believe him, of course. So.
We'll get this started in just a second, guys. But one thing I want to mention is Parting does have the hometown advantage.
That's true
and
as
it's
well.
probably going to be bigger here than we normally see because everyone flew in and the game just started. So we'll talk more about that in a second. But here we go. And we're going to have Parting there in the bottom left as the Celestials. And in the top right, we're going to have ELAZER as the Infernals.
Yes. I'm very curious what kind of builds we have coming here from Parting especially. I mean, he's going to already start by sending out the Arc ship across the map, as that is exactly what happens with Celestials. You have a floating town hall, and they just can go wherever they want, and that is also what's going to allow you to build buildings around its power field area as well. So you do need to send that across if you want to be able to build stuff in the other opponent's face and stuff like that. So we'll be going for that.
Yeah, we do see the collection array being taken, not at the natural here, but at the kind of third base. So the Hexen actually won't see that immediately. So he will have to double scout and check if he's actually expanded or not, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's true. Yeah, that's the other funky thing with the Celestials. You don't really... It's hard to know how much they're committed to certain things because they don't have to expand in the normal patterns. They could just expand wherever they want. Since all their stuff flies, so you can just really mind game your opponents that way if you want to take that route.
Yeah, I got to tell you, one of the funny things about this with the Celestials, a lot of things have actually changed since that last beta period. Like the buildings, what buildings they're using, and everything. The names of they kind of changed that all around, which I found to be hilarious because, I flew here on the day that the early access came out.
Right.
So I was just reviewing my notes of the last phase, and then I was watching streams this morning, and I'm like, wait a minute, why is he building the upgrade structure first? What is this build? And it's like, no, the Argent comes out of that one now. Okay.
Oh my god, and we see ELAZER's not taking a shrine here. He's actually making a lot of gaunts and pushing out the map to meet Parting as that Arc ship flies across. And so far, it's looking pretty good for him. He did pick off a building there and pushes back this army as well. pretty good start for ELAZER.
Yeah, we didn't even notice that he was going on one base at the beginning of this. So this is actually going to be an interesting strategy because I think he's just expecting Parting to be going for something like this and is trying to counteract it and just delay as long as possible any of these Argents coming up or any of the Link nodes getting made in his face and whatnot. I mean, it also just might be ELAZER wanting to go for a big aggressive push, but he's going to lose these Gaunts. This is a massive move.
That's so painful to lose those 2 Gaunts right now on one base. This is exactly what Parting needs to have happen. Look at this. The Gaunt's coming back with the Hexen now, but he does bring the Argents back to fight.
And they are getting powered up, so as the Argents get energy, they do more damage. So they're going to pack a real punch here. And the Gaunts, he does save that one that's low HP. Good micro from ELAZER here. Very good micro, pushing these Argents back. If he can clear these out and take the buildings out, it would be huge. But there is another Argent coming here from the south. This game is down to the wire right now.
Well, there's a lot of Argents all of a sudden.
Yeah, suddenly he's got
from.
4
Holy crap!
Oh my god!
Where did this come from? We suddenly just have like an entire army completely baiting ELAZER over here, and now these Link nodes and shield or whatever power banks are going to get set up here outside the natural. This is going to get really awkward for ELAZER.
And the Gaunts are completely cut off now. How do they come back to the base to defend here?
He's got to hit a perfect flank, man. Like, how do you do it? He's being zoned out so hard. The Argents just charged up. Look how quickly they're killing everything off.
Yeah, the super-powered attacks that they have are actually so good. It's crazy how much less damage they do once they've run out of energy. It's, like, actually insane.
He's pulling the Imps. He actually used the top bar ability on his building there to push back the Gaunts. And ELAZER's in a lot of trouble here. I don't know how you deal with this many Argents.
Oh my god. Even using the overcharge thing there to be able to kill through some of those Gaunts on the flank, and then you can just turn on them, take them out as well. And, I mean, these Argents are just really not dying right now.
GG. And that is a dominating victory. I like the very beginning of the opening by ELAZER, right? How he sent the Hexen out. He went back trying to harass a little bit. You know, it didn't really end up where you can see he's just thinking. Because it really comes down to this, right? The game is brand new. It's all new strategies. And you have to look at what your opponent did and really think to yourself, how do I counteract that?
Right, because I think ELAZER's strategy choice, if you look at it from his perspective, he got pushed, but Parting did take a natural, so he wasn't necessarily completely like all in. But he one base gaunted and still died. So if you only make gaunts on one base and you still die to that push, what's the next step here to defend it?
I mean, I think you have to look down a different route, right? If the one base is not going to work with the ranged units, which is like this would normally be how you would hold anything in an RTS game,
right.
Maybe you have to expand so you can make more units.
I mean, expand, maybe get some.
You can't just make towers, right? You can't just make. You can't do that. It's not just shroud stones. It's like one base shroud stones. That's not a build.
Yeah, because then Parting would just make. Well, he could even just play the eco game at that point, right? He doesn't have to push because he does have that second base. I really think if he kept a couple of those gaunts alive in the beginning, he got a couple.
Yeah,
caught.
2 of them got caught there.
Yeah,
it's true.
It could have changed things a lot.
I mean, it's just like so awkward too, because like you really do have to deny them from getting close to you. But like if you try to engage too early when your units are so like you just have so few units, it's very easy to have that situation happen where you just get caught out. And like the Argents are actually pretty decent in these low numbers skirmishes and whatnot.
Right.
So I'm not really sure exactly even what the best opportunity for ELAZER here is.
No, I think you guys are pretty spot on. Like if he doesn't lose those couple of gaunts, right? Maybe he overextended going past because when he was coming back, he was getting hit by the buildings, losing extra units. Maybe if you do kind of build up, and he is going one base conclave here again, we can see. If you do build up that gaunt amount, like maybe you can combo that with something else like a single shroud stone to zone things out, get an expansion up. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, these are particularly good maps for the Arc ship push, I would say, because
this one especially.
It's such a short rush distance, natural to natural, right?
Yeah, you also, even if they were planning to take a natural, which ELAZER isn't really doing this game, you also have this huge ledge below that you can just siege up with a bunch of turrets and everything from the Celestial side, so that makes it very difficult on this map specifically, but I mean, Parting's going to be sending it across again. ELAZER's going to be sitting on one base for now, trying to get as many units, and we'll see if he gets some sort of adaptation to be able to defend against it this time.
Yeah, one good thing for ELAZER on this map is that he can kill that creep camp.
True.
without having to tank any damage here on the Hexen, which was not available in the last map. So that is a slight difference.
Well, that is something for him at least. Really superb micro hold positioning there. Going to bring up a couple gaunts as well. So, you know, at least he's saving these units. You know, maybe that's a big part of it. That's funny. The skull just gets picked immediately. But yeah, look at this. Just setting up the creation chambers right away here. And this is going to be tough. I'm hoping that ELAZER can do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see what exactly happens here. We're going to start to be able to push this away a little bit with the high ground here, as they're not quite close enough yet. But once the Argents start coming out is when it's really going to get pretty hairy. And we're going to try to push away the... Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think we need to be attacking the Archer. That thing's not going to get killed off anytime soon. But getting a kill on the first power bank is good. And then we're going to start to be able to chase... Oh, actually killing the skull there mid-flight was very good before it can attach. But ELAZER doing his best to try and just, again, push this back. He got a couple cancels last game, too. So now is when it becomes the difficult part of continuing to cancel everything.
I love this one Shroud Stone. This is what I was kind of talking about at the beginning, where like if you keep your gaunts alive and you throw down one Shroud Stone, this may be able to zone everything out. Don't forget the like building attacks and stuff are not going to be able to do anything to that Shroud Stone, and basing your defense around that, you know, maybe you can get yourself an expansion up.
Definitely, and you will need one at some point because Parting does have that collection array, that second base himself, so you definitely need to get a natural up at some point in this game if possible. But right now it's looking like Parton is pushing up this ramp. He's not content with just containing him on two bases, it looks like. He actually wants to push in here with these Argents, and you've got to keep every gaunt alive here. You really need as many as you can keep.
It's really annoying, too, here now as ELAZER, because this Shroud Stone is so out of position. It's allowed him to deny the power banks from coming up onto the ledge of this cliff. But now Parting has this massive area to just walk straight into the main base here. And now we can start getting link nodes being made underneath this cliff. Dude. And now this is getting extremely awkward for ELAZER.
Yeah, that link node is just ridiculous right there. That is so painful. The speed with which he's able to put this down. The fact that he's able to make the shoot immediately on those gaunts. Very tough spot here for ELAZER.
This push just looks insanely strong, and Parting's done it perfectly, going around the tower so he doesn't take any damage. And now all these buildings spawn in ELAZER's main base, and he's going to have to, pull workers here to try and stop them as they do eventually get, you know, all the way up the ramp here. I'm not sure how he's going to try and hold this.
Well, he's trying to hold it by kiting, but he's actually got less gaunts than we have Argents, which is not ever going to work out for you in a million years. So I think Parting is about to just take this 2-0, and I have this funny feeling this is going to be a puzzle for every Infernal in this tournament, is how do you stop Parting's building push?
It's a puzzle for every Infernal and a gift for every Celestial out there looking to pick up a build order for some easy wins, because this looks insanely strong.
Yeah, if I'm watching this right now at home, I'm not logging on and playing Infernals right now.
Yeah, man.
All right, GG gets called. Parting goes up 2-0. So suddenly my prediction is looking pretty good.
Yeah. Go. It was the easy prediction to make. You can brag about it. It's fine.
You sounded shocked, but okay.
Nah, I mean, a 3-0 is kind of, we can say we did kind of expect it. But I am still holding a little bit.
Right, Gemini?
Yeah.
These are some smaller maps, though, right?
True.
If we don't go into Jagged Maw right away,
which I imagine we did not get picked.
Well, eventually we'll go into but if we don't have that, then it's like, okay, well, maybe some of these bigger maps, you're a little bit further away. He has a little bit more time. Maybe there's a better zoning position, because obviously we saw what he was thinking with the Shroud Stone placement.
Yeah.
But when Parting just walks around and abuses that other side,
it's,
you know, some of these maps might have a more favorable layout for that type of strat from ELAZER. Or maybe he needs 2 Shroud Stones.
I also just want to see, like, or maybe 9 Shroud Stones.
Maybe 9 Shroud Stones.
To beat this B Infernal.
You got a double shrine right away to have enough imps to make enough Shroud Stones to stay alive, man. That's what it's all about.
No, I'm curious, though, how the Shroud Stones actually interact with it, like how much they can actually push back the Argents and whatnot. I haven't played with this type of stuff myself. I've only been, trying to learn a little bit of the Celestials, but I mean, yeah, maybe it is just a bunch of Shroud Stones, man. Maybe that's how we defend it.
Oh man, yeah, I hope not, because if you're forced to sit on one base and make static D all day, it's like, that's not the way.
It would be pretty.
You don't want to do
It
that.
would be awkward. No,
Yeah.
for sure. That's not what you are hoping for as your answer as the player.
Yeah.
You're like, well, I have to make 50 turrets at home to defend your 50 turrets.
This is the fun thing about a new RTS game, though, right? It's
Yeah.
so much of early RTS games is people finding the most abusable thing and abusing it as hard as possible, and then you either find a way out or a patch comes. that's a new RTS. That's what it is.
No, the discovery phase in the beginning is definitely the most enjoyable out of anything. It's just very fun just to be on ladder and just like doing stuff and just knowing that it's definitely inoptimal, and I'm just playing and knowing that I'm going to probably just learn something from what happens. It's like I play a game, something happens, then I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll just take this for the next one too.
Sure.
Right. We do have Isle of Dread as the map here, right? So
yeah,
the flight distance is going to be a little bit further.
And he actually opened differently there. I saw an Iron Vault going down for a laser as opposed to a quick conclave. So
interesting.
Yeah, maybe we can get a very different looking game. I don't know if Parting is going to try to basically do the same thing, just a little bit slower.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess I do know now. Thank you to waypoints in modern games. But look, a laser definitely has a different idea this game with that Iron Vault.
Yeah, I wonder what he's looking at here. Do you think he might go for some backstabs on the collection arrays?
It could be. Yeah, why not?
Instead of fighting the army straight on, try to go round.
That's very interesting. Yeah.
I like the idea.
Because you can use the top bar ability to save it, but eventually you're going to run out of charges, right?
And that's what you need to be able to hold the push anyways, right?
You need
to make them run out of those charges elsewhere, perhaps.
Yeah, he also can't then use them offensively is the other thing, too, if he's forced to use them defensively back at his collection arrays. Yeah, that could be interesting, actually.
Yeah, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. I'm going to go ahead and try to get this speed camp right away. Maybe make a few fiends in here while he can as well.
Yeah, if he can get some fiends out really early on, that would be something we didn't see in the previous games. He's actually going to go for a shrine as well. Wow.
Oh,
Does he just not expect Pine to do this push on this map?
Maybe just because it's so much further that he feels like he has time to get other things going.
Maybe.
You know, the secondary shrine, maybe you... kind of like the placement of that.
You know, I do like that. He can easily farm this creep camp here as well.
Yeah.
It's also the health buff one as well. So if you're just sitting in that and they try to get you out of there, you have the health buff right there as well.
Not going to worry about that even a little bit.
Oh, and we do see the backstab I was talking about with the fiends here.
Yeah, yeah.
This is very interesting. I mean, he can defend it with the top bar ability, but eventually, do you need to send something home to deal with this?
I don't. Well, I mean, I think you use top bar for now for sure.
And then afterward, because he can go to the nat as well. There's another collection array there as well.
Rotate back and forth.
I wonder how much power Parting actually has available right now to do multiple of them. Getting a little caught here in the middle of the map as well, actually, is kind of doing pretty decent here. Gets one of the Argents basically for free.
I got to tell you guys, I never thought I'd find myself rooting for an Infernal player. But right now I'm feeling it. I'm like, come on, ELAZER. All right, we're figuring this out.
Yeah, he's going to be able to get on top of a second one, maybe. Unfortunately, getting microed back into the Fog of War, but nice split onto the Brute. Gets a couple of the Fiends on top of that weakened Argent. Will be able to kill that off, but unfortunately not able to get the power bank here. So overstanding maybe just a tiny bit here is ELAZER, as now the Arc ship is getting closer and closer to his bases to get more power banks set up to make sure these Argents are nice and energized to get their super-powered attacks.
It looks like he just lost his Hexen in there. We just missed that on screen, but he does force that power bank to go down. And the Argents come up before he can get this Shroud Stone all the way up. The Shroud Stone's still building. And he does. It's like he's kind of sacrificing here. This reminds me of like the very early like Hedgehog bushes, where you're like, yeah, take my units so my Shroud Stones can finish.
Yeah. Farting has committed to push the natural here, as he's making the buildings. But the real problem now is these Argents, right? He is picking off some, and a few are getting weak. But if they start to snowball, like we've seen in the previous games, suddenly they can get out of control really quick.
Oh, the ability here onto the power bank is actually so sick. I thought that was actually going to be a pretty decent trade for ELAZER. I think he's doing a really good job of splitting up the Brutes after getting a lot of damage and then chasing the Argent. Because since the Brute can't quite catch up, then splitting it into the two Fiends to then catch up and then get the final blow to kill it when it's low health is really cool. And he's doing a pretty good job of that. But getting a bit of extra damage there on the way out. And now there's a lot of Argents suddenly out here right now, and this is looking a little bit awkward here as ELAZER's now kind of stuck between going into his main and his natural.
Well, he does have another Shroud Stone on the way. Oh, God, it's going to take so much damage.
He
dude.
did have one on the way.
Yeah. Oh, man, Shroud Stones, when they're building, go down so fast.
Yeah.
The Argent's just powering through that and kiting back a little bit here. The Arc Ship going to fly back home as well. And now he's just going to dive on an actual Shroud Stone. Just ELAZER a little bit out of position. I feel like where we watched him evolve a lot in this very quick 3-game series,
right.
but not quite enough. But it feels like he's feeling it out. It does feel like he's come up with very good ideas.
Definitely, and you gotta save this base, right, as ELAZER. So he is going to push in here, and he has to fight under the buildings now without his tower, which is super scary as the Argent numbers are growing here. And that Shrine is starting to get low, down to 20% health. He's picking off all these gaunts here, and GG gets pulled. Partin steamrolling through this series with a quick 3-0. And he used, well, basically the same build every game, right?
Yeah. I think it was like basically exactly the same each game.
Right.
And ELAZER, of course, using 3 completely different builds, trying to parry him. And, you know, this is the thing. Parting does this. Like, before the Celestials were out, he did it with Infernal, right? And, well, there wasn't really a big tournament for just when it was pure Vanguard, but he would have done it with that, too, because the guy's a world champion of StarCraft 2. So
yeah,
he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, it was a tough series for ELAZER. I mean, he's not dead. He's still got the lower bracket as well. So if you want to see more ELAZER games, you know, he'll still be there in the lower bracket trying to get some wins. But for now, an unfortunate showing. I mean, getting Parting first match is not exactly the way you want to start your tournament. That's, you know, you're getting put against basically the tournament favorites. So a bit of an unlucky draw, we can say, for the bracket for him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're going to have to play him eventually. There's only 8 players in the tournament. If he plays him again, likely in the grand finals, we are expecting Parting to kind of dominate the tournament. And so far, he is looking up to the task.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. And the thing I really liked about these games is that everyone's kind of complaining about Kreese being strong and the air rushes being strong and stuff. But Parton showed us something a little bit different. That it's just like, there's another option out there. Like
there's another thing to complain about.
You also need to worry about this push and base your whole game plan because they might go for it.
Parting only has a little bit of knowledge that there's a second resource in this game. So when you say Kreese, like, wait, what? Which race has that? No. Okay, I think we're going to jump to a quick commercial break, guys. And when we come back, we'll get into our next match. Oh, never mind. All right, sick. Parting's actually going to come up and hang out with us, and I guess we can talk to him about his great strats.
Yes.
So never mind that. Yeah. I don't know if we're going to see Parting do anything much more than that until someone can defeat it, right?
Not broke, don't fix.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, at this point...
Is broke, please fix. How about that?
Yeah, at this point, it's up to his opponents to come up with an answer, right? The thing is, I'm sure he has other strategies. Like, if you beat that push, you know Pine's got another...
Yeah, he's got some other spicy little things.
3-4 build for each matchup to bring out, so...
Yeah. Someone's going to finally stop that push, and then, like, Kreese are going to roll in. They're like, oh, he knows how to make Kreese, too? Oh, he's just too strong.
Imagine this isn't even Parting's best build, and he's just trying this one out first until it loses, and then someone finally beats, like, oh my god, I did it! I'm going to be able to beat Parting, and then he rips out an even stronger build, and you're just like, oh, no.
Or he just eventually goes into Vanguard. He's like, this is the actual best race, guys. All right, we're going to have Parting join us.
Oh, my God. Hello, Parting. Congratulations.
Hello, Parting. Congratulations.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh, thank you.
Well, very good job there. I mean, that strategy looks pretty strong. How do you stop that with Infernal?
Actually, I'm serious. That builder is not strong.
I told you.
It's my just first jab.
First jab.
I think because they not enough time for practice, you know, the ELAZER, and I don't know other guys, but yeah, that's why he died.
So that's just your first jab.
Yeah.
And that's like just your first poke into them, and then you're much stronger after that?
After my plan, I can't say detail, but I have a lot of plan. If Infernal how react, Like if they take a base, if they go into one base, I have a lot of way, but that the total 3 games, I just keep doing, keep killing, keep destroying.
Does this build work on every map? Because I thought like Broken Crown and Secluded Grove are good maps for it, right? Short rust distance.
Oh yeah.
But then you did it on Isle of Dread as well, and then I was like, oh, does this build actually just work on every map?
Oh, this is business. Yeah, but just the one. Okay.
Business.
How many viewers watching now? But if the Celestial player just watching now, just play like me. Just do it everything, every map. Just play like me, or just urgent, make it Kree, destroy
You didn't
everyone.
make a Kree.
I will. Spoiler, you know.
You will.
Spoiler.
We already got Phase 2, guys.
So
crap.
that's the hook.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's what I said, right? Like, this is the first thing, and then he's still got so much stuff left up the sleeve he can pull out.
I feel like we're actually watching history being made. Like, we're all having a good laugh and everything, but it really reminds me of the beginning of StarCraft 2, where we have the best player of a race abusing something that he knows is very strong. He's like, everyone copy me. And then everyone's going to copy him, and that's going to be the only build, and it's going to get nerfed. And then it's like no one's going to know how to play the other builds except for him, and I think it's hilarious.
This is like the 2 bunker rush at the bottom of the ramp from early 2010.
Yeah.
But I think that my build order is not same like 2 bunker rush. It's not
I don't know, yeah, maybe
much
not.
strong. Trust
It's
me.
much more complicated,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to right-click the arc
Yeah.
ship towards their base. And I did notice that one game you made 5 Argents, but the other game you made 8 Argents. That was very good.
Oh yeah.
Any more questions from you guys?
What are you expecting for the rest of the bracket? You gonna just, not lose the entire time? Just go to the finals, no losses, win every game?
Actually, next match is Migi versus Theory, right?
Yeah.
But Theory is my teammate. He's very good player. Also, we practice a lot. Maybe that matchup will be epic matchup.
Awesome.
I think viewers will love it if Theory win.
Mhm.
But we don't know the Migi how he play.
Yeah.
He's a very mystery guy.
Yeah.
But I hope they show us the great game.
I hope
Yeah.
so, too.
Me too. I have a question for you. Looking at the rest of the bracket, who are you not scared of? I know you're not scared of anyone in
Alright,
this
not
bracket,
scared
but
of
like,
anybody.
who do you think is your biggest kind of threat in this bracket?
Okay, be honest. I'm not joking. I worry about ELAZER because I know his mechanic, the RTS, is very well because he played a lot StarCraft 2. We have a great memory about practice. I know how he very smart player, so I a little bit worry about him. But I think just not enough time because he have to come to Korea. Is travel not enough practice time,
Yeah, of course. Of course.
So you think that was your hardest match?
Yeah,
Is what
yeah.
You're saying? the rest
Yeah,
of
He
the
only
rest
got
of
the
games
phase
are gonna
1 of
be
his strategy,
easier?
and that was the hardest. That's the most resistance he's going to get.
Didn't even use his best build.
Okay. So now I change my plan.
Right.
Okay. Now Theory is my very scary.
Ah, okay, okay.
player. Yeah,
You're gonna say
opponent.
that about every.
Every
No,
single next
no.
player.
If I win Theory, I think maybe I can win this tournament. Maybe.
Maybe.
Look at that
Maybe.
confidence.
So you're not like afraid that Clem might come here and show his great StarCraft 2 skills?
I very looking forward to Clem's game because he have a lot of a great talent. So his opponent is Kiwian, right?
But is that the first round for him?
Yeah,
I
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
So Kiwian also a very strong,
Yeah.
Stonegate player. So yeah, that game will be sick.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Parting, for the interview. Best of luck in the tournament. Now we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll get into our next match.